Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is February 5th, 2024, and Real Madrid TV have attacked Xavi Laporta and Xavi Hernandez after Madrid dropped points over the weekend. Also, it's reported that Hansi Flick is keen on the Barcelona job, and he's already learning Spanish. And finally, an investigation by the media outlet Diario Sport have confirmed the story that I brought to you, which is that Lucas Bergvall, through his agents, used Barcelona in order to get a higher offer from Tottenham Hotspur. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and this is Barca News' live podcast, which is on every Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where not only do we discuss the news, but I also get to interact with all of you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments out loud, answering any questions, and getting a discussion going. For those of you who will be watching the podcast when it ends, I will leave timestamps in the description and chapters in the timeline in case you want to skip through all that discussion. Now, having said that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Now, let's begin with the news because, ladies and gentlemen, La Liga just got more competitive because over the weekend, and I will make this bigger for you guys, both Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid dropped points when they drew 1-1. Of course, Girona also dropped points because they also drew their match, and as such, that leaves Barcelona in third place with 50 points, 6 points behind Girona, and 8 points behind Real Madrid, and of course, 2 points ahead of Atletico de Madrid. Now, this can all change even more because this weekend, I think it's this upcoming weekend, Real Madrid and Girona will play. So if either one drops points, whether it's because they both draw or one team wins and the other one loses, etc., that will be Barcelona's chance to even get closer. Of course, the best case scenario would be for a draw for both Girona and Madrid to drop 2 points each, which would put Barcelona, again, 2 points closer to each one of those teams. Assuming, of course, that we win our match against Granada this weekend, it should be a win that Barcelona can achieve. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, in football, especially with the form of the team. But nonetheless, it should be an opponent that Barcelona can defeat. Now, speaking of the match against Granada over the weekend, just an update. Barcelona has filed officially the appeal for Vitor Roque, as apparently that's how it's said, pronounced in Portuguese. But Barcelona have filed the appeal for Vitor Roque's red card. Of course, it was an unfair red card. I talked about it extensively in my post-match live analysis. I'm not going to go over it again. If you want to hear what I had to say, make sure to check out the post-match live analysis. But of course, Barcelona are trying to appeal the red card and the second yellow. They want to remove it completely from his record because, of course, that does affect La Liga, even if the red card is appealed, because every 5 yellows is a suspension. We'll see what comes out of this appeal. I don't have my hopes up. Every time Barcelona have appealed, or any time any team has ever appealed something, it usually doesn't go anywhere, no matter how convincing the footage is. Now, in case Vitor Roque's red card is not appealed and he is suspended for the Granada match, we do have, of course, the option of Marguiu to be the substitute. Marguiu did get injured or felt some discomfort in the match against Logrones. There was fear that he, might not be available, but after undergoing medical exams, it seems there was only just a slight discomfort. He should be available. If he's not, they're saying he could be out 7 to 10 days. Either way, not a serious injury. Could be available for the weekend, but if he's not, we do have another option, of course. It's Pau Victor, who is the center forward for Barca Athletic. He just scored yet another goal. That brings his total to 12 goals, 3 assists this season so far. He's doing pretty good with Barca Athletic. Again, he's on loan in Barcelona from Girona. He has an option to buy worth 3 million euros, which Barcelona do want to activate in the summer. So don't worry, even if Vitor Roque's red card is not reversed, we do have options with Gu and Pau Victor. We went from having no center forwards to now having 4. So plenty of options there. I think we got it covered. Anyways, by the way, Deco has given a very, very interesting interview. He's talked about everything. Xavi, his replacement, Vitor Roque, the transfer market, Lamine Yamal, the Negreira case, you name it. Has talked about all of it. I've made a special video covering all of his statements, discussing his statements. The video was supposed to come out a couple of hours ago. YouTube took a very long time trying to verify the video because they do this check to make sure you're not copywriting. So it didn't come out on time. We'll publish it an hour after the live stream is over. But make sure to check it out. Again, very interesting video, very interesting interview by Deco, touching on a lot of subjects. But anyways, let's start with the comment section, and then we will talk about what Real Madrid TV said about Xavi and Laporta. These people are absolutely shameless. You will be shocked to hear what they said. These people are bottom of the barrel. Anyways, Chuchu says, fingers crossed, German coach, training is about to get tough. Yes, I won't do any spoilers, but I will talk about Hansi Flick in a little bit. And let's see, Marek says, Mo, do you think Mbappe going to Madrid will disturb the locker room and their tactics? I hope so. I think so, because Vinicius plays on the left. And if they bring in Mbappe, where is Mbappe going to play? So there's going to be a big fight between Vinicius and Mbappe on who occupies that position. Maybe they move Vinicius to the right and then just bench Rodrigo. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to have those two egos, Mbappe and Vinicius, in the same locker room. I mean, that's going to be just two bulls just headbutting, which, of course, is great. I mean, if their locker room implodes, then awesome. But Ancelotti, he knows what he's doing when it comes to big locker rooms. He knows how to handle egos. He knows how to handle big stars. I don't rule out him knowing what to do. Ancelotti's Ancelotti. You can't take anything away from that man. Anyways, one more. Blaurana Kule says, let's go, Hansi. I was born in Heidelberg, Germany. That's why I'm so partial towards a German coach for our new skipper. All right. That's awesome. I don't even know where Heidelberg is, but if you want to enlighten us, please let me know. Okay, one more comment, and then we'll go back to the news. But Halo, THW, Halo, W, I don't know. Says we should play the same tactics with Vitor Roque right wing instead of Yamal. Obviously Roque shines best in the center forward position, but Lamine does need rest. And I'm very, very worried at the fact that Lamine Yamal has played 90 minutes of every match for the past, 5-6 matches. And I'm very worried about that. But of course, we have a whole week of break. Now we don't have any midweek matches for a while until the Champions League. So I guess not a while, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So that's good at least. Maybe the players can get some rest in these upcoming weeks. But anyways, let's get back to the news, because the shameless people of Real Madrid TV have launched statements attacking everybody and their mama because Real Madrid dropped points against Atletico de Madrid. They drew 1-1. And God forbid Real Madrid takes responsibility for their draw. No, it's everyone else's fault. It's the referees. It's Barcelona. It's Laporta. It's Negreira. It's Xavi. It's everybody except themselves. They are not responsible for anything. They are God's team. They are meant to win every single match they ever play. And if they ever lose or draw, it's because something else happened that it was out of their control, because they are the chosen people, right? That's what they want to make you believe. But let's look at the statements of these bottom of the barrel people, these shameless, unscrupulous people, no shame whatsoever. But let's see the first statement where Real Madrid TV said, this man who blew the whistle today, does he have the conscience to sleep well tonight? Always in favor of the Colchonero team. They would be terrified. Atleti is the club most favored by the referees in this league. Yes, you read that correctly. Let me read it again. Atleti is the club most favored by the referees in this league. I can't even finish that sentence without laughing. Real Madrid TV saying that Atletico de Madrid are the most favored club in the league. These people are absolute clowns. They have no fucking shame. No shame whatsoever. Real Madrid, every single week, every single match, and if you don't believe me, go back and watch every match Real Madrid has played this season, has had controversial calls in their favor. Penalty kicks that they've committed that weren't given to the opposing team, penalty kicks that were not penalty kicks that were granted to Real Madrid, fouls that should have been red card that Real Madrid did not get, fouls that should have been yellow, or just fouls in general that Madrid keep committing, but the whistle does not get blown. These people have gotten away with so much crap this season, and then they have the nerve to say Atletico de Madrid are the most favored club by referees in this league. You can't make this up even if you tried. But hold on, it gets much, much worse. These clowns are on one, definitely on one, but it gets worse. Let's look at more statements because they say, we have to remember that Xavi's playing career is under suspicion because his matches are being investigated by the public prosecutor's office and a judge. Just enough lessons. His whole career is under suspicion. They're trying to put Xavi's entire career in doubt. That's how disgusting these people are. His whole career. Okay, first of all, let's break this down. First of all, the prosecutor's office and the judge have said over and over again that there's no evidence that proves that Barcelona bribed any referees or influenced any matches. That's been established. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's not me defending Barcelona. This is what literally the prosecutor's office has said, what the Spanish Treasury has said, what UEFA has said. This is what everybody has said. We've all reached a conclusion. There's no evidence of bribery. Okay? But, okay, let's assume there is, right? For the sake of argument, let's assume there is. Xavi didn't just win trophies in La Liga. Xavi won Champions League, several trophies, several Champions League trophies, and UEFA Super Cups, and Club World Cups. How do you explain that? Was Negreira also bribing UEFA referees? Xavi also won a World Cup and 2 Euros. How do you explain that? Did Negreira also bribe FIFA referees? And they're trying to put his entire career in doubt. But what's worse even, that the World Cup and the 2 Euros that Xavi won, he won them from Spain. And we're talking about Real Madrid, right? These are the proud Spaniards, right? Shame on Barcelona. They are the symbol of Catalan independence. Those traitors, shame on them. But we are Real Madrid. We represent Spain. We represent the Spanish crown. We are proud patriots. We're proud Spaniards. And these proud Spaniards are willing to put the only good 3 achievements they've ever achieved in their entire history in football, the World Cup and the 2 Euros, they're trying to put all that in doubt just to spite Xavi and Barcelona. And this is not the first time they're doing this, by the way. When Luis Enrique was the manager of Spanish national team, they constantly prayed and wished that Spain would lose just so they can say, see, I told you so. So they're the personification, they're the epitome of the saying, cut your nose to spite your face. That's how stupid these people are. The proud Spaniards, right? The representatives of the Spanish crown. Real Madrid for royal, right? Here they are, putting in doubt the only achievements that Spain has achieved in football, just to spite Xavi and Barcelona. But it keeps going. Let's go. Says, adulterated league? You have to laugh. Fortunately, there is Real Madrid TV to prove things with evidence. If we manipulate, let someone go to court and denounce it. Here we are doing an exercise in transparency of what is happening. Wow. Transparency, evidence. Oh my God, these people, they should have their own crime show. They're so good at doing. Real Madrid TV has been posting video after video every single week since La Liga started until now. going into picking a referee every time and going into that referee's entire career, picking a few mistakes here and there, compiling them and making a montage to make it seem that these referees are just all out to get Real Madrid, right? They're all out to get them. Even though Mateo Laos has openly admitted that he made a mistake canceling a perfectly legal goal for Barcelona, which handed Real Madrid a La Liga title, but no. They are doing God's work. They are exposing all the corruption of La Liga, right? All referees are out to get Real Madrid. But anyways, there's more, guys. Don't worry. Real Madrid TV says, what pressure Real Madrid TV puts on us? 3 penalties and none given. Xavi and Laporta will be happy tonight against everything and everyone. So, this is how stupid these people are. That because Xavi and Laporta made public statements that the league is adulterated and that referees rule in favor of Madrid, they're trying to say that those statements in public have put pressure on referees, and in turn, this is why the referees in the Atletico de Madrid match ruled against Real Madrid. That's what they're trying to say, okay? So here's my question to you, people at Real Madrid TV. If one statement by Laporta and one statement by Xavi saying that the league is adulterated was so powerful that it caused referees to rule against Real Madrid TV, why were we paying Negreira? Why were we bribing referees? All we needed to do this whole time, just go on mic and say this league is adulterated, and referees would have just, ruled in our favor and ruled against Madrid. That's all we needed to do this whole time. We could have saved ourselves so much money. And here's where the giving gets worse, because, again, this is how stupid these people are. They say that supposedly Laporta and Xavi's statements influence the referees, but their videos that they make every week, that doesn't influence anybody. But the statements of Laporta, Xavi, it does. That does put pressure on referees, but their videos, which happens every week for months, that doesn't pressure anybody. Because when you're saying that Laporta and Xavi's statements influence referees and put pressure on referees, you're admitting that so do your videos. But no, it only works one way. It only works when Barcelona does it. It doesn't work when Real Madrid does it. Guys, we could have saved ourselves so much money bribing referees. This whole time, we could have been just going on mic and saying the league is adulterated. Bottom of the barrel kind of people. These people are absolutely shameless. But as I always say, welcome to the Spanish League, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, let's get back to the comment section, and then we will talk about Hansi Flick. I know a lot of you guys are here for that probably, but let's see what is everyone up to in the chat section. All right, Blaurana Kule explaining. Helderberg is located approximately 91 kilometers from Frankfurt. Okay, I know where Frankfurt is. I visited Frankfurt when I was younger. Let's see, what else? Fight 5 says, looks like Madrid is going to back to hand-picking refs. Yeah. No, but they're the ones who are, poor people. I mean, I don't even know how they can compete. Everybody's just so against them. Those poor guys. Jara King says, I don't understand it. Is this really the way Real Madrid need to act to win the league? That's what I don't get either. They call themselves the biggest club in the world, right? They're the best club, the biggest club in the world, the club that's won it all. Why are you acting like that? If you're so big and you're the greatest, then act like it. Why are you acting like a fucking small club? Anyways. Kara says also, Zidane coaching career should get investigated for sure. Those 3 gifted UCL Cups, they came back to ask them win La Liga, and it was given. Yeah, I mean, those 3 Champions League all were marred with controversies. But no, they are the victims. Those poor people. And one more. Gio says, Mo, if Mbappe actually goes to Madrid this year, do you think he would fit into the team well? We've already seen him play with Messi and Neymar, and his lack of compatibility led to failure. I don't think it was his lack of compatibility. I think the reason why PSG have failed over and over again is because it's a circus. It's a shit show. They think because, they have money, they can just buy the most expensive players per position, and it's somehow magically just going to work and the trophies aren't going to appear. And that's not how football works. We learned that way back in the day with Los Galacticos, with Real Madrid, when they signed, Roberto Carlos and Zidane and Ronaldo and Beckham and Raul. And I mean, those were some of the best players in their positions. And they hardly won anything. I think they won one Copa del Rey or something. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a project. You have to pick players that fit your project. You can't just sign expensive players and things is going to work out. That's why it didn't work. I think he would fit. But I think they're going to have an issue with Vinicius. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, let's talk about, ladies and gentlemen, Hansi Flick. Because Bild, the German media outlet Bild. If you don't know who Bild is, you should. It's I don't know if it's one of the biggest or the biggest media outlet in Germany. Extremely reliable source when it comes to anything German. If Bild says it, it's going to happen. It's kind of like Romano with transfers. It's the same thing with Bild, but with everything German. So an incredibly, very reliable source of media in Germany, and they are reporting that Hansi Flick is very, very keen on the Barcelona job. He's extremely excited to come to Barcelona, not only because of the call that he had with Deco, where Deco called him and let him know, hey, you are being considered for this role. You're actually one of the front runners, because Flick is the one that generates the most consensus within the board. So not only is Flick excited about that, but it's reported that he's very excited about the young talent at Barcelona. He says he's very excited to come to help shape this young talent, to help shape this young project, and to coach players like Gavi, like Pedri, like Araujo. So he's very, very, very excited about the prospects of becoming a Barcelona coach. So much so that they say he has already started taking Spanish classes. That's how excited this guy is. And this touches on something I talked about in the previous podcast. I said to people who keep saying no great coach is going to want to come to Barcelona because, it's such a mess. And I said, that's absolutely false. Great coaches crave the kind of project we have, project with a lot of promise, with a lot of talent, a lot of young talent, because that's how they get into the history books. Everybody remembers the coach that takes over a team that was a mess and turns it into a winning team. Nobody remembers the coach that came to a winning team and kept winning without having to do anything, right? That's boring. Great coaches always want that challenge. They want that project, that young project with promise that's nothing yet, that diamond in the rough. They want that. They crave that. That's what separates great coaches from the rest. And the same with players. People are like, oh, why is Gundogan leaving Manchester City? Because he already won everything there is to win. So now it's on to the next one, right? Great players, great coaches, they always want a challenge. They get bored once they achieve their goals. They want more. And this is prime proof of it. Hansi Flick wants to come to Barcelona. He is very excited about the prospect of it. He's even learning Spanish. Now, we'll see if he'll be the coach or not. Of course, other candidates, Barcelona will have to talk to everybody. Gonna see what kind of money they can offer Flick, if he's amenable to that salary, etc. So there's still a lot of variables. Doesn't mean that Flick will come, but just know that he does generate the most consensus within Barcelona, because he's that modern German coach which Laporta has always wanted. Someone like Flick, Tuchel, Nagelsmann. Also, he's someone with experience, someone who's managed a big team. Of course, his resume is a little bit short, but he is one of two coaches in the entire history that have won a sextuple. So definitely not despite being a short resume, is nothing to look over. Now, the important thing is, and I've said this before, as far as picking the right coach, I think it's very important that Barcelona need to first understand what kind of project they want to build, and based on that, pick the right coach that fits that project. You can't just bring, like a lot of people say, oh, Klopp. But is Klopp really the Barca style? Yeah, he's a great coach, right? And that's the important thing. We can't just bring a coach and then be like, okay, figure it out. No, we have to figure out what kind of project we want to build, and then decide, okay, let's bring a coach that fits that idea that we want to accomplish. So I think that's why it's important not just to throw names out there. Another thing is, we have to get it right. We have to get it right because our young talent. We have a lot of young talent on our team, and we need to get it right for someone to start shaping them. If we keep going through coaches and it's not working out, that young talent eventually is either going to leave or they're going to get older and you're like, oh, crap, I just wasted all these prime years or all these youth years while I was trying to figure out right. So we have to get it right. And also for the finances, because the club needs money. And in order to generate money, you have to win, right? Not only because you get money from trophies, but nobody wants to go to a stadium to watch a crappy team. People want to go to the stadium to watch great football. People buy merchandise when their team is winning. So we need to get it right. We'll see if Flick is the one, but just know that he's very excited about the job, and he's the one that generates the most consensus within Barcelona. Anyways, let's get back to the comment section, and then we will talk about Lucas Bergvall, because a lot of people said, oh, you're just making this up about him using Barcelona. Turns out, my friends, I was not making it up. All right, let's see. My man Close says the majority of the Spanish national squad was Barca. Oh, yeah, it wasn't Spain that won the World Cup. It was Barca that won the World Cup. And of course that hurts them. They can't stomach that. They can't stomach that Barcelona for many years were the best team in the world. They just cannot stomach that. They cannot stomach that Guardiola's Barca, that Luis Enrique's Barca, even Rijkaard's Barca at one point were the best in the world, and that they absolutely demolished their opposition. They can't stomach that. And instead of just accepting it, hey, they were the best. No. Let's come up with excuses. Oh, it was doping. Oh, it was Negreira. Oh, it was they bribed referees. Oh, we're just the victims of. Just accept it. They were the best. Didn't even need the help of referees. Have you even watched any of their matches? They used to win matches by 5, 6, 7-0. They didn't need help from referees. But that will forever haunt them. So stay mad, Real Madrid. Stay mad. Cara says, I'm not discrediting Zidane, but Madrid robbed every team they met for 3 consecutive seasons. Agree. I'm actually not sold on Zidane, the coach. I think he was a great player, one of the greatest midfielders. But when he took over, besides the 3 Champions Leagues that I won being, marred with a lot of controversies, but he had already taken over a team that was a well-established team, a machine. They had already all their signings. It was a machine. It was a team that was already working well together. All players within their prime, all players that had experience together, that had experience on he didn't change anything. He just took over a team that was already built. And that's why I have my doubts about it. And he was exposed because when he came back later, he didn't win anything. I think he won one La Liga or something. But it wasn't because, oh, my God, he's such a tactician. He came and changed the face of football like Pep Guardiola did, right? Pep Guardiola didn't just build the best team in history. He literally changed football. He changed how other teams played, not just how Barca played, how other teams played. Because when he revolutionizes tiki-taka and makes it his style, and Barcelona just start demolishing everybody, teams all around the world were just sitting back like, how do we stop this? What the hell do we do? And teams spent months and years just trying to come up with a philosophy on how to stop tiki-taka. And that's why I say he changed football. He changed not just how Barcelona played, he changed how all the teams around us played, because they had to react to this new style that they didn't know what to do about. And Real Madrid are never going to get over that. And that's why we're always going to hear this sorry-ass excuses from them. All right, let's see. Mark says, Mo, you're the best. I've been super, super sick all day, and your videos make me feel a lot better. I'm sorry to hear you're sick, my friend. I hope you feel better. Drink a lot of fluids, get some rest, and thank you. Thank you for your comment. But let's get back to the chat section. And we have to talk about Lucas. Apparently, it's Bergvall. Someone said that to me. It's not Bergvall. Apparently, the V is pronounced like W. I know in a lot of languages it is. I think, so I don't know. If anyone Swedish in the comment section can confirm that it's Bergvall, not Bergvall, let me know. But anyways, the point is, the story is that Diario Sport, the media outlet Diario Sport, have done their own kind of investigation, and they have confirmed the story that I brought to you a few days ago, which is that Lucas Bergvall used Barcelona, or his agents at least, used Barcelona to get a higher offer. Now, we know for a fact that Drew Gardens, and they confirmed this through their sporting director statements, but Drew Gardens were negotiating the entire time with Tottenham Hotspur for the transfer of Lucas Bergvall. And then in the media, they started talking about Bergvall going to Barca, which that proves, or at least you can speculate from that it was his agents that were leaking the story, because the whole time Drew Gardens were negotiating with Tottenham Hotspur. So the investigation that Diario Sport did have revealed that when the agents of Lucas Bergvall received the offer from Tottenham, from Tottenham Hotspur, they leaked to the media that Barcelona wanted him, kind of to get like more cachet, put more pressure on Tottenham. And then once Barcelona did make the offer for Lucas Bergvall, what the agents did was stall Barcelona, because they knew if they didn't respond, then Barcelona would just withdraw, and then there goes the hype. Oh, Barcelona are no longer interested. So what the agents did was stall Barcelona so they can stay in the game, they can stay in the race, and they can continue putting pressure on Tottenham. And the way they did that is when Barcelona made the offer, the agents then, they were like, oh, we want more commission. And the commission they were asking for was much higher than what any agent usually gets. So that kind of bought them some time, back and forth, back and forth. Barcelona said no. Then the agents went back and said, oh, we want a higher salary for Lucas. So now there was like, back and forth, gain more time. And then finally, Deco got a wind of what these agents were doing and said, you know what? We're not entertaining any of this bullshit. Here's our offer. You either accept it or you don't. Now, with all of that stalling and all this tactics, Lucas Bergvall's agents eventually did get what they wanted. Tottenham Hotspur ended up raising their offer, and they got a lot more money for their client. And that's how Lucas Bergvall, through his agents, used Barcelona to get more money. Now, Bergvall has spoken about his decision to join Tottenham over Barca. This is what he said. He had to say. He said, they are both incredible clubs. It was a very difficult choice. It was 50-50. It felt like the next step for me was Tottenham. It was not easy to say no to Barca. It took a very long time to decide. I mean, 50-50 between Barca and Tottenham. I don't know. But anyways, good luck to him. I hope he succeeds at Tottenham. That's all I have to say. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the news. But let's do the comment section. And just a reminder again, I've made a video about Deco's interview. Extremely interesting interview. He's talked about all kinds of things. Xavi, his replacement, Vitor Roque, the market, Lamine, everything. The video will come out in an hour. But yeah, make sure to check it out. Let's see. Klaus says Tuchel might be a better choice. Tuchel is not leaving Bayern. So that's a ruled out option. Let's see. Gia says, Mo, are there any young players from Masia who are you looking forward to playing on a senior team for the first time? That's a good question. Who would I say? I want to see Unai Hernandez. I think Unai Hernandez will be a really cool to see him play a few minutes with the first team. He's an interior that sometimes gets deployed as a left winger. So I think that's a good option that we can see, since Joao is injured and Ferran is injured and Rafinha is injured and their wives are injured. Everybody's fucking injured. But I think Unai Hernandez would be a cool one to see. I wish Bernal or Pau Prem would get a few minutes here and there, just to see what they're capable of in the pivot position. Who else I would like to see? I think I do want to see Pau Victor. You know, there's been a lot of hype around him with him, you know, scoring goals with Barca Athletic. Barcelona wanted to activate his clause to buy him at the end of the season. So I kind of want to see what he has to offer the first team. You know, is he just a hype for the third division and Barca Athletic, or is he someone who can actually, you know, compete in the first division? So those players, I would say, yeah. Unai Hernandez, Pau Prim, Marc Bernal, and Pau Victor. Let's see. Ellen says it won't kill them. They could sell Vinny for heaps if they want. They could sign Mbappe and Haaland. I don't think they can sign both because of the financial fair play. But regardless of the financial fair play, I don't see Haaland wanting to play on the same team as Mbappe. Because one thing you have to understand is Haaland and Mbappe are going to be like the next, Messi versus Ronaldo, right? Even if they don't want to, the media is going to want to make. The media always needs, Superman versus Batman type shit, because that's what sells, right? So I don't think they're ever going to want to be on the same team, because they're both going to be competing for Ballon d'Ors and individual awards. And when you play on the same team, that kind of takes away from that, right? Because you got to want to prove, because it's better if you're an opposing team and then, you can win against the other one and be like, look, I'm the better one. I played against you and I scored, or I played against you and I won, versus being on the same team where they're just going to overshadow each other. Let's see what else. Carlos says, is Flick actually a good coach and a good option? To be honest, I really don't know his style of play or anything about him. I've said this before. I'm a little torn on Flick because his resume is so short. He was only at Bayern Munich for 1 season. And then he went to the German national team where it didn't really work out. And a lot of people hold it against him. But despite him being for 1 season at Bayern, he did win a sextuple. He's one of 2 coaches in history to win a sextuple. So that's definitely nothing to underestimate. That's no easy feat, especially because he took over Bayern midway through the season, and Bayern were struggling. So to be able to take over a struggling team halfway through the season, turn it around in such a short period of time, it usually takes several seasons to turn things around. He did it in a few months. And on top of that, winning a sextuple, who else can do that? That's like walking on water type miracle, or turning water into wine. Maybe you can turn the water into wine and then walk on it and then get a 2-for-1 miracle type thing. But so that's the thing. As far as him failing with the German team, I know a lot of people like to hold it against them. He said that he wasn't really given leeway at all with the German team. It's kind of like, you do what we want you to do. And plus, the German team's been a mess for a very long time since they won the World Cup. And being a club coach is different from being a country coach or national coach, whatever you want to call it. I think, great coaches doesn't necessarily mean great national team coaches. Then the opposite. So, but I don't know. At this point, anything's going to be better. Someone was like, left me a comment. They were trying to be like a smart ass. They're like, oh, you talk so much. Maybe you should be the coach. I was like, I'll take it. Like, I don't know what that person thought he was going to get out of that comment. Like, oh, I got you. I was like, no, fuck yeah, I'll take it. I'll be the Barcelona coach. I'll be a horrible coach. We would lose every match. We would lose friendly matches. But shit, to manage Barca, even for a few months, to earn the salary that they earn. By the way, Xavi Hernandez constantly complaining, nobody thanks me. What the fuck you mean? You're making like 4 or 5 million euros a year. There's your thank you. People forget that coaching is a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. How do you get thanked for a job? With your salary. That's how. I go to work every day. I'm like, oh, nobody says thank you to me at my job. No, they say thank you to me by depositing my salary every 2 weeks into my bank account. That's my thank you. So I don't get it. But anyways, Klaus says Frank Lampard compared playing against Barca to chasing shadows. Yeah, even Rooney. Was it Rooney that spoke about it? But I remember watching an interview about the final between Barcelona and Manchester United, and they said they just didn't know what to do. And by halftime, like you could see it on the players' faces, the entire Manchester United squad were just defeated mentally because they were like, we don't know what to do. We can play as best as we can and run as hard as we can and do everything as best as, and it's not even close to being good enough. So what referees? We didn't need to bribe anybody. Pep's Barca was just demolishing people, demolishing. Klaus says, we all mock Tottenham in England. Not just in England, my friend. They're mocked everywhere in the world. Which is funny because when it was announced that Lucas Bergvall was going to join Tottenham, there was all these Tottenham fans that came on my page and try to rile up things like, ha, 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 we took him. It's like, dude, you're a Tottenham fan. Like, what are you laughing about? Like, seriously. Like, you're a Tottenham fan. Like, what are you happy about? But anyways, The Matrix says the financial fair play does not affect Real Madrid. They can find a reason to remove Girona goals so they can get around it if they sell Modric and another player. Yeah, true. And Viet says, then if Mbappe goes to Madrid, can we dream of Haaland and Barca? No, not unless we sell the stadium or something. Oh, and one more. I saw your comment, Ross, and I do want to address it. He says, hi, Mo. When is the stadium going to be ready exactly? The stadium will open back up in November of this year, but it won't be completely done until 2026. So starting November, there will be matches held at the Camp Nou, but it won't be full capacity because they're still going to be working on it. And in 2026, it'll be fully done, complete. So they actually want to enter it into the World Cup draw because, you know, the World Cup in 2030 is going to be in Spain, Morocco, Portugal, Argentina, Uruguay, China, Mars. It's the most ridiculous shit ever. But they do want to enter the Camp Nou into the draw so it can be, you know, it can host matches in the World Cup. By the way, they just announced the World Cup final will be in MetLife Stadium, which is like 50 minutes from where I live, which is freaking awesome because who knows, maybe I can go watch the final. All right, one more and then we'll end it. Now I've been talking for a while. Krish says, I don't know if it's true or rumors, but I heard Luis Figo is coaching Barca. No, come on, man. Luis Figo's not coming to Barca. Luis Figo can't even coach his son's Sunday League team. What? Mr. Prince says La Liga copyright talk FCB. What? What does that even mean? I'm very confused. But anyways, let's see. Anthony says, this is a good question. Mo, if you could focus. I need my glasses. Why am I struggling when I have my glasses? Mo, if you could focus the team around a single player, who would it be and how? Lamine Yamal. Not now, though. In 2-3 years, I would build a team around him. And how? The same way the team was built around Messi. But yeah. All right. I think that is it, guys. I'm going to go post the video about Deco's interview. Check it out. Lots of interesting stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in, for your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. You guys are absolutely amazing. I will see you in the video in an hour. I think in an hour. But anyways, as always, Visca Barça.